Hello and welcome to the first Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. I'm your host, Kate Burns-Gallagher, and we're thrilled to be bringing you this current affairs show featuring people of interest, places, and events in our communities. We're kicking off 2023 with our first ever guest on Next Week Today, Laura Woermke, Executive Director of the St. Thomas-Elgin Public Arts Center. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you, and thanks for having me as your first guest.
We're so lucky to be, and thank you for hosting us here in the Art Center.
No problem.
So tell us a little bit about the history of the Art Center. How long has it been here?
So the Art Center was founded in 1969, and then we occupied this space in 1970, and we've been in the same location for over 50 years. Founded by like a group of women, and yeah, pretty amazing history.
That's great. And how long have you been at the helm as executive director?
I've been here since 2007. Mm-hmm. Before that, I volunteered here, sat on the board, got really familiar with the organization, and then made the leap into being employed here. And I've been here ever since, and I love it.
That's amazing. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your background. I understand you're an artist as well.
I am. I studied at Fanshawe College in London, and then went to University of Windsor for the fine art program there, and then I moved back to St. Thomas, where I've been ever since, before 2007. So, yeah, and so I am a artist part-time as well, and I love what I'm doing. So,
and you're featured prominently here at the Art Gallery, particularly on the front of the building.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that piece of art.
So that mural was in recognition of our 50th anniversary here. So we wanted some way of celebrating it and kind of celebrating what we do here for everyone in our community, especially children. Start young with the art education, and so that is a way to recognize, make your mark, make it happen. So it was a fun project.
So Make Your Mark, Make It Happen is one of the programs here at the Art Center. What are some other programs and events that you offer here at the facility?
So we do a number of different types of programming. So we do for children, seniors, adults, all different types. In fine art and craft, so we just really would like to promote the hands-on experience when it comes to making art. We also are very proud of our educational programs here, and we offer through the Thames Valley District School Board free educational tours to every child. With the help of, Kinsman Club, the Optimist, the Lions, so a lot of service clubs help provide the funds to purchase the materials so they can participate in a hands-on activity as well.
That's amazing. So it's a real community involvement place.
Yes.
And when people come into the Art Center, what can they expect to see?
So we host 16 exhibitions annually. So we host contemporary art, historic art like you see on the wall right now. And then in our Gallery 3 is a more community-based gallery, a flexible space for artists that live in our community that just want to kind of try a project and want to see some feedback from the community. So we host them in that space.
Incredible. And what are your plans for 2023 here at the Art Center?
So we have a full exhibition schedule and a full education schedule because it's been kind of down since COVID and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we are introducing some new adult programming in the main space, and then we are hopefully opening back up all of our education programs, the Saturday classes, and so we are looking forward to having everyone come back.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for being our first guest on the show today and for hosting us here for the Next Week Today. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back with Mayor Joe Preston.
Night's action on Rogers TV.
Hi everyone, my name's Ranger M. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.
be a slave. That word, I hate it. It rests on my tongue like rot.
Peter, how does it feel to get paid for your work?
There are rumors freedom's coming for us all.
Freedom, you know that's all I want.
Chloe, careful. Real men would rather sell you across the river to America than let you go free.
Then I'll run.
I've run before. Maybe this time for good.
Just get her into the boat.
Chloe! Chloe, no!
Word of Chloe Cooley's resistance led to Canada's first legislation limiting slavery. After 200 years, slavery was abolished in Canada in 1834.
Hi there, and we are back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. Our next guest is Mayor Joe Preston. Welcome to the show, Joe.
It's great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. So let's kick off. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, Joe Preston, the mayor of St. Thomas. This is my second term as mayor, but I did 4 different terms in Ottawa as the member of parliament, and I'm a local business person who, also believes in creating jobs and helping the economy in St. Thomas.
Fantastic. And what made you want to run for mayor?
Look, I thought there was things we could do better. There still are some issues that we must fix, whether it's homelessness or some mental health and addictions issues. There's things we can do that way. But St. Thomas is growing at such a rapid pace. I thought it also would take a mayor and a council that were looking forward to what the new St. Thomas will be, what we need to do different in order to make it a more vibrant city than it even is.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about moving forward. What are some of those goals for moving forward with this term of being mayor?
Well, first of all, we know we're growing at 1,000 people a year. So we must have available to those 1,000 people, the new 1,000 people to St. Thomas, housing, jobs, all the amenities that people look for in a community. And it can't all be done in 1 year. So sometimes when we look 5 years out, okay, what would we need if we were attracting 5,000 new people in the next 5 years? And that's truly the outlook we have. Ensuring that the jobs are there for people who want to come to live in St. Thomas, ensuring that there's good, safe, and affordable places to live for those who want to come to St. Thomas. And we think we can do all that. And it's proving. We're meeting so many new people in St. Thomas from other places who are so happy about being in our community, or telling us about how it's better than where they came from and how much more fun they're having being here.
Right. And what does success look like to you in 2026 at the end of this term?
That we have created all of the supportive housing we need so that we have built for zero on our homelessness piece. That is the first goal. We said it was. The fact that the electorate in St. Thomas sent myself and every council person who ran back, we're taking that as permission to go forward, to get that job done. That's the biggest, heaviest lifting we have to do. But we've got a huge piece of property that we've also accumulated in St. Thomas to attract what we would call a mega industry to St. Thomas. Jobs for the future for about as far out as we can see. We want to finish that in this term also. The combination of moving the community forward in such a positive way, but leaving no one behind. No one behind in St. Thomas has to work together. This term of council will prove we can do that.
Definitely. And you mentioned about all those new people that are coming into our community. What are some things that are your favorite things to do and see in the city of St. Thomas that you recommend to all those new folks coming in?
There's no better place than for my mind, walking through Pinafore Park. When I'm having even just a sort of a bad day, it's a great place just to go 5 minutes. But you know what? I find the same joy walking in downtown St. Thomas, because as you get to know the business owners and you walk through, you can say hi. It's like Andy of Mayberry almost. It's, you get to know where everyone is. There's maybe not a favorite place, but there's a favorite people. There's some great business people in St. Thomas, some great organizations in St. Thomas, and spending time with them, right? And I'd be remiss if I didn't say Caps Off wasn't one of my other favorite places. Who knew enough to put a craft brewery right out the back door of City Hall for the mayor. So it worked out really well.
That was some ingenious thinking right there, wasn't it?
Way to go, Rick and Fran. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, are there any events that you're looking forward to and things you're looking forward to for 2023?
Well, you know, one of the things, Kate, is that we're looking to add more. We really have in our strategic plan to continue to add at least one more big event in each of the summer months. We're at 3 and we want to be at 5. So there's some things that could come back to St. Thomas that aren't here now, perhaps a Rib Fest, something like that, or a bigger, better Canada Day, and maybe a Canada Day parade. So there's some of those events that I think we have to do better. But a lot of conversation even in the last couple of weeks, because this is the first year in forever we haven't lit up Pinafore Park. It was always the Fantasy of Lights, a great community group that did that work, and then the last 2 years with the stationary parade. Well, this year, because we went on to back to normal, it isn't happening. So I'd love to find a community group that help us put that winter event back into St. Thomas too. It's not something the city can do on its own. We will need to go back to, I recognize the old Fantasy of Lights group really ran out of volunteers, ran out of the ability to go out every night and do it. We want to help, but we can't do it on our own as a city. We have to ask some of our service clubs or other groups. So that's a good mixture of events that we could do here in St. Thomas.
Fantastic. And if people are interested in volunteering or engaging with the community and helping events like that happen, how can they get in touch?
Well, either through my office, through the mayor's office, Melissa there, we have a couple of volunteer programs there now with Snow Angels, helping people. And so that's a great volunteer connection. But we've got, between the Kinsmen and the Optimists, I'm going to miss some, Rotary, there are some great service clubs, and there are some unique opportunities in our community for volunteering, like at the inn or at Grace Cafe, or to help people with a hand up. So it depends what best suits you, right? But we can get you physical labor, we can get you design labor, or Harvest Hands is another great new group in our community. So look, you almost got to hide under your bed not to get a volunteer job if that's what you're looking for, but let's see. I don't think anybody's trying to do that.
Well, thank you so much, Joe. We really appreciate your time today.
Happy to be here.
And we look forward to you coming back on the show in the future.
Well, you call me anytime. I've always got something more to say.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with Nicole Kernohan.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken, slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong, our mission unwavering, and together we'll beat as one.
And we're back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin. We are now joined by Nicole Kernohan, positive psychology coach and COO of Elevated Worldwide. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Thank you, glad to be here.
Thanks. So tell us, what is a positive psychology coach?
Okay, well, I know it's a bit of a tongue twister. Essentially, I help people tap into their potential. So we kind of work with the mind and dig into where our results really come from in the first place, and we go inside. So we tap into their potential, understanding beliefs, self-image, fears, all these inner things that are really at the root of what makes someone do what they do.
Amazing. And how did you come into the field of positive psychology?
Well, it's interesting. I actually, in my 4th year of university, I had an episode where I became paralyzed on the right side of my body. Wow. Lost functionality, totally knocked me off my tracks, unexpected, and eventually I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Wow. But I'm okay, like right now, as you can see. And that was the beginning of my journey into understanding health and mind and wellness, and really being able to treat myself. So the root of it was to be able to treat myself. And I really found passion in health and nutrition side of it. But what I discovered after 10 years was that the root of my own healing and my own results came from the mind. I ended up in a 3-day seminar, and that was like with this concept of positive psychology, and that was like the lights were turned on for the first time in a dark room, and I finally understood this power of the mind and really got into the depths of it. And once I discovered what I had done kind of in my own life, I wanted to be able to inspire others and teach that to others.
That's incredible. So as we're here, our first show in 2023 and New Year's resolutions, tell us a little bit about how positive psychology can have an influence on New Year's resolutions.
Awesome. Yes, I know. This is the beginning of the year, New Year's resolutions. Interestingly enough, Kate, what we found is a recent study in the end of 2022 shared that 69% of people who set a New Year's resolution quit. And despite believing that it's powerful, despite believing in the potential of having these goals and having these resolutions, 69% of Canadians quit them, and 48% of those said that one of the biggest reasons was lack of motivation. A few others said that it was they literally just forget about it. A few people said they don't have the time. There's a few other reasons, but lack of motivation was really at the core of what people believed was holding them back. And so really tapping, which is a feeling, right? It is an inner thing. It is not an external factor. That is the core reason why people don't commit to their goals. It is really kind of understanding, and what is it about me on the inside that is affecting my actions externally. So
what are some tips and tricks for those 69% of us who don't follow through on our New Year's resolutions that you can really channel that positive thinking?
Well, there's a lot of things, but there's a couple of really key things. One of them is actually setting a clear goal, which you might suspect if I have a resolution, that is the goal, but really understanding why. Why is it that you want that? And if the reason that someone's setting that resolution is to, if I lose weight, then people will love me more, or once I save money, then I'll be happy. If there's an external reason, that's not typically something that's going to propel someone to be consistent with it. So really when they pick their resolution is to understand why is it important to you. So that's the first thing, is really getting into the reason why you even want this, and really exploring all of the reasons. The second one is once they have a goal, the research shows that if you write down your goal, I get so excited about this, if you write down your goal and repeat it often, you are 42% more likely to achieve it. Writing it down creates like thousands more neural pathways to the brain, so physically writing it on a paper, and then repeating it often, reading it every day, looking at it, posting it, telling your family about it, like really being consistent with here's what I'm going after and here's why it's important, and repeating it often. That is one of the factors one of the other factors that will really help people become more consistent.
So we've got the why, we've got writing it down. Is there anything else that people should do to really make sure those New Year's resolutions stick?
Yes, for sure. Well, one of the things that is kind of annoying is that realistically, motivation is temporary. So those 48% of people who said, I lost motivation and that's why I dropped it, it's like, yeah, because most people lose motivation. Motivation is a temporary feeling. What we actually need to do is, those goals will help with motivation. That's why you set them and get consistent, but you really have to build habits. The people who run through their New Year's resolution and get all the way to the end of the year, they were not motivated the entire time. They were motivated up and down throughout the year, but they developed habits. And when it's a habit, then you do it without thinking. So, building a habit that you commit to on a daily basis, and realizing that over the short term, you don't really see much change. But it's the accumulation of those small daily habits over time that really create change. And there's lots of tips for building habits I can share as well, but that's really what it comes down to, is being willing to commit to the habit.
Great, well, thanks so much for sharing your positive insight into making those New Year's resolutions stick. Really appreciate your time today.
Sounds good, thanks for having me.
Great, we'll be right back after this short break with CrossFit Elgin.
The One TV free preview is back, and viewers are loving it. Start strong with workouts designed to motivate you. Then reward yourself with our lineup of great entertainment. January is a one-for-all, free-for-all month. One TV, free preview on now.
My dad was a railway porter. It was just about the only job a black man could get. But he had big plans for us. Music would be our ticket out of poverty. I knew we couldn't afford that piano, so I practiced twice as hard.
Nice, Stacy. Okay, Oscar, let's hear it.
Turns out, I wasn't half bad. Then I found jazz, or it found me. It wasn't all easy, though. I faced a lot of hate, but I found my stage. They call me the man with 4 hands. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see how far this ticket takes me.
From Montreal to Carnegie Hall and far beyond, Oscar Peterson became one of the most recorded and celebrated jazz musicians of all time.
And we are back on Next Week Today in St. Thomas-Elgin with Dan Stewart, owner of CrossFit Elgin, and trainer Reese Plant. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You bet. So Dan, how long have you owned CrossFit Elgin?
It's a year now. It's been lots of ups and downs. There's also our 10-year anniversary that we also had at the same time because it was previously owned. So I bought it, and then it's been open for 10 years now, so I've had it for this is our first year as being the owner there, so.
Amazing, so yeah. You bought a gym at the tail end of a pandemic. What was that like?
Right, yeah. So that was pretty scary and exciting at the same time. Because we're hoping it was the tail end. We weren't really sure. There's a lot of unknowns. So there's also a big need for people to just get out, get moving, get stronger together.
So we're here in January, start a new year. People are making New Year's resolutions. We just chatted with Nicole about, a lot of people are trying to get fit and healthy. Yeah. How can CrossFit help people?
Yeah, it's infinitely scalable. So there's always something for everybody to get involved. And we also have a CrossFit Open. So we have like different events to help get people involved and get moving and doing things together. We have lots of really good coaches to really help everybody wherever they're at, whatever level that is. So nobody needs to be scared or nervous like it's a big scary CrossFit gym or anything like that. It's not. It's very welcoming to everybody of all levels. So
amazing.
And one of the nice things about CrossFit is every coach is classed, and so someone who has no fitness background at all can come and be there completely fresh and green. And we will teach them everything they need to know about what it is we're doing. So you don't have to have a fitness background. You can just show up and we'll walk you through the entire thing. So it takes a lot of the mystery and the guesswork out of your physical fitness. We're going to help you do everything.
Right on. So when somebody walks in that front door, what is that experience like? What do they see? What is CrossFit, and why is it different from a typical gym?
Yeah, what's different from a typical gym in a lot of ways is everything we do is in a class format. So in 1 hour, there's going to be a coach there who's going to warm you up, run you through probably a strength or a skill session, and then put you through something we call a Metcon, which is sort of the high output, sort of high intensity stuff. And in that hour, we're going to walk you through the entire thing. So we're going to teach you what to do. We're going to check your form. We're going to put you through it. We're going to run the clock. We're going to help you keep score. We're going to encourage you. We're going to do all this sort of stuff. And so when you show up to your first one, you're going to see probably a bunch of people finishing in workout, so it could look pretty intimidating because they're probably going to be in various levels of discomfort and covered in sweat. You're going to see them get up off the floor and high-five each other and compare scores and make fun of each other for winning or losing, or encouraging each other for trying their hardest. And then you're going to have a coach greet you. You're going to have a coach introduce everybody by name, so you know everyone you're working out with. And then you're going to do what they work you through for the class. And by the end, you'll feel very accomplished and tired and ready to eat a meal and go to bed.
So it's a real team effort and a real group approach to fitness.
And that's one of the things I really love about it too, is like once you come in those doors, because the world can be kind of crazy, once you come in those doors, it's very welcoming. And sometimes you can do something that may on paper look a little daunting, but because we have such good coaches and everything, you're going to walk out feeling like you accomplished something and maybe approach things in that day with a little more confidence and creativity.
And part of the fun is doing it with friends. If you go to the 3 o'clock class, there's going to be 8 other people there that you go to the class with 3 or 4 times a week. You're going to have a great time. You're going to catch up. You're going to talk about your day. You're going to hear how their kids are, or how their vacation was, and you're creating relationships there even as you go about getting fit.
Right, and you mentioned the coaches are all at different levels. So anybody of any level can just come in and start working out at CrossFit?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, there's a common misconception that you need to be fit to do CrossFit. You really don't. We will take anyone. The nice thing about fitness is it varies by degree, not by need. Everyone needs to know how to squat. Not everyone needs to be able to squat 400 pounds. So if you walk in and you can't squat, we're going to help you learn how to do that. We're going to provide ways for you to do it, and we're going to help encourage you to increase in your ability as we go.
Amazing. Now, if somebody's looking to start those New Year's resolutions a little later, how can they join CrossFit or reach out to you to find out more information about CrossFit?
That's through all the socials. They can text the number that's on there too. But once you just Google Crossfit-Elgin, and you can do everything through there.
Our email is info@crossfitelgin.com. And your first class is always free.
First class is always free. That's
First
something
class is always free. That's a huge selling feature, isn't it? Great.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I did want to mention that, when I started, I had no fitness background whatsoever. When I met the previous owner, who brought me right through everything, I just came in, trusted the coach, and then throughout the years, I just made progress and progress after.
Amazing.
After time, so.
That's great. So walking into CrossFit-Elgin is walking into a whole, you're creating your new family and a new friend environment and getting fit at the same time.
You really are.
That sounds pretty amazing.
It's fun. You get to suffer with other people. It's a good time.
It's one of the main reasons I bought it, is because of the community that's there. I just wanted to keep that going, and it really adds to the community here too, so.
Great. Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us today and sharing a little bit about CrossFit and how we can keep those habits and get those healthy lifestyles started this year. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
And that is a wrap on Next Week Today in St. Thomas and Elgin. Thanks so much for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Join us for Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada.
Come celebrate the roots of our game and the stories that bring it to life. It starts with the Scotiabank Showcase before all 7 Canadian teams hit the ice. It's Lightning, Flames,
Stars, Milan Lucic,
Leafs, Habs,
Ripper Rivals,
Jets, Sens.
What a play!
And Oilers, Canucks.
McDavid scores!
Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada from Owen Sound, January 21st on Sportsnet.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible